It's 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. Meet Bob. Bob is currently wearing bunny slippers, sipping a lukewarm cup of coffee, and scratching his belly. He looks like a guy who might have just lost a battle with his alarm clock. But while Bob was sleeping, his company launched 3 new marketing campaigns in 14 countries, responded to 4,000 customer inquiries, and negotiated a supply chain contract. How many employees does Bob have? 0. Not a single human being works for Bob. Now, Bob is a fictional character. And let's be realistic, not every solopreneur is going to become a billionaire. But the real paradigm shift is this: a single person can now operate with the leverage, speed, and output of an entire traditional company. For centuries, scaling a business meant hiring more humans. But what happens when artificial intelligence goes from answering questions to actively doing jobs? Let's dive into the fascinating, slightly terrifying, and entirely realistic world of agentic AI. To understand how Bob's morning is even mathematically possible, we have to look at how businesses used to grow. Think of the traditional corporate empire. They were massive, lumbering beasts. If you wanted to double your output, you had to double your workforce. You needed a larger HR department just to hire the people, to manage the people who managed the workers. It was a pyramid of endless paperwork and slow-moving office politics. They are the dinosaurs of the global economy. Now, look at the near-future solopreneur. Bob doesn't have an HR department or a legal team sitting in a glass tower. When he needs a new product design, he doesn't post a job listing and wait 3 weeks. He issues a command. In the blink of an eye, the work is generated. Bob represents a tiny, warm-blooded mammal, starting to run circles around the corporate dinosaurs. But wait, you might say, I've used ChatGPT. It can't run a whole company. And you'd be absolutely right. A chatbot is basically a really smart parrot trapped in a text box. A chatbot only answers when spoken to. If you ask it for a marketing plan, it writes a document and then goes back to sleep. But we're leaving the era of chatbots and entering the era of AI agents. The difference is monumental. An AI agent receives a broad goal, selects its own digital tools, executes multiple steps autonomously, and reports back the results. While a simple chatbot might draft your marketing copy, an AI agent will actively scan the internet for a rising trend. Write the ad variations, code the landing page, launch the campaign, and adjust the budget in real time based on the metrics. Bob doesn't just have an AI. He commands an interconnected swarm. This is where the real magic happens. These agents talk to each other in a silent symphony of data processing. Bob's sales agent isn't just sending generic spam, it's analyzing potential clients and customizing pitches based on publicly available digital footprints. Of course, a legitimate operation must stay strictly within the boundaries of privacy laws, user consent, and data ethics, ensuring it doesn't cross the line into creepy digital surveillance. If a client replies with a legal objection, the sales agent pings the legal agent. But here's the catch: the AI doesn't replace a real lawyer. Instead, it drafts a revised contract based on the company's pre-approved legal templates and policy guidelines, and then flags it for final human or legal review. Bob isn't doing the heavy lifting. He is playing a high-stakes strategy game. This challenges an old, deeply ingrained business assumption that growth always requires a proportional increase in human labor. In a traditional company, every new market entered brings massive marginal costs: office space, local hires, and overhead. Bob's digital empire significantly flattens that curve. If he wants to localize his entire business into 50 different languages, he doesn't hire 50 translation teams. He allocates more cloud computing credits. Now, let's be perfectly clear: Bob's costs don't simply vanish. He still has very real operational expenses. He pays heavily for servers, API calls, advertising spend, data storage, legal compliance, and human oversight. But his need for proportional human labor when scaling is drastically reduced. A single individual can now orchestrate the economic output that previously required a massive workforce. But before you quit your day job, we need to talk about the dark side of this infinite leverage. Because a lever amplifies everything, including catastrophic mistakes. Let's say Bob makes a typo in his core strategy prompt, or an AI agent completely hallucinates a market trend. Because the swarm moves at the speed of light, a tiny error compounds instantly. The marketing agent might accidentally burn Bob's entire quarterly ad budget in 5 minutes bidding on the wrong keywords. The legal agent might hallucinate a clause that exposes the company to massive liabilities. When a fully autonomous agentic system glitches, it can burn a business to the ground before you've even finished your morning coffee. The successful solopreneurs of the future won't be the ones who automate blindly. To survive, Bob must build strict, human-in-the-loop systems. He needs hard spending limits, mandatory approval gates, comprehensive audit trails, and a big red emergency stop button. This brings us to a profound philosophical shift. In the coming decades, the workforce will likely split into three distinct groups. First, people who try to compete against AI. Second, people who use AI as a tool to do their jobs faster. And third, people who design systems where AI agents work together. This third group will hold the greatest leverage. We are moving from the creator economy into the approver economy. Bob is no longer just a creator. He is an editor, a strategist, an evaluator, and a moral compass. His primary skill isn't typing fast. It's taste, judgment, and risk management. The one-person billion-dollar company is an approaching reality that will disrupt industries, wipe out inefficiencies, and redefine what it means to work. The barriers to entry for global commerce have evaporated into the cloud. The playing field has been digitized and handed to anyone with an internet connection, a bit of audacity, and excellent critical thinking. So, as we step into this strange new world, the ultimate question isn't just whether AI will take your job. The question is, will you remain a worker inside the machine? Or will you learn to command the workers made of code? The tools are already here. The swarm is waiting for your command. If you want to understand more about the technological earthquakes reshaping our economy, hit that subscribe button. We have a dedicated team of humans, using a healthy dose of AI tools, working to bring you more videos like this. See you next time, and remember, the future will not reward the person who works like a machine. It will reward the person who knows how to command one. The future will not reward the person who works like a machine. It will reward the person who knows how to command one.